This right here is the epitome of vehicles. You know, the Mercedes-Benz started the whole revolution of four-wheelers, the car, what we call the modern vehicle today, and then launched the S-Class, the epitome of luxury four-wheelers. This is the S-Class of electric vehicles, the EQS, EQS 580, which is made in India. For the first time, it is being produced outside of Germany, outside of Stuttgart. India becomes the first country that has its own EQS being manufactured there to bring down the cost and make it easier for the consumers to buy and adopt to electric vehicles. And that's why we are here today. So let's start with the design first. As you can see, it looks nothing like what you've seen on regular Mercedes-Benz cars, because this is the new bow design that Mercedes-Benz is following. And with the bow design, they are able to get a coefficient drag of 0.2 CD. And because of that bow design, Mercedes has been able to achieve the world's lowest coefficient drag of 0.2 CD only. And to achieve that coefficient drag, Mercedes had to seal everything you see right here. The bonnet is sealed. And if you're wondering, how do you replace fluids or anything else? Well, Mercedes has given a special slide pocket where you can put in the wiper fluid liquid, and that's the only thing you can put in this car. It's an electric vehicle, so you don't have to put any engine oils, you don't have to put any other lubricants, there's nothing needed. And for that, Mercedes is giving you the first car ever to get serviced in 2 years only. So once in 2 years or 30,000 kilometers, this car needs to be serviced. And by service they mean check the battery health. That's about it, because everything else will be top notch all the time. And if you're worried about how long is the warranty for this car, well, you get 8 years of warranty and also unlimited kilometers. So either 8 years or unlimited kilometers, hassle-free, tension-free driving on this one. Before we move on to the sides, let me talk about this grille. This, usually the radiator grille, which we don't have radiators anymore, so they've sealed it off also. And you have multiple Mercedes TriStar logos all over here. Then the sensors, the radars, everything, the ultrasonic sensors are underneath this black shield. So all that autonomous ADAS level 2 driving you're getting is through these sensors and radars inside that. Also, you can see the digital light with 1.3 million mirrors giving you that crystal clear light, and these 3 LEDs really give you that S-Class feel that you always wanted. Another thing to note is this light running across the headlights from left to right, and this is, I think, in a way showing that it's an electric car. We have noticed in the EQC also, it's a similar light which connects from left to right. Now let's move on to the side and talk about the side design of this car. So from the sides, you can notice how evident is the bow design and how unlike Mercedes this car is designed. It's nothing like we've seen in the past, and you can see even the badging has moved to the sides. This is the EQS badging on the A-pillar. Also, you can see the aerodynamic alloy wheels, which look flat because they don't want any drag, and that's how you're able to achieve all that coefficient drag. For that same matter, they have also included flush door handles so that the coefficient drag's bare minimum. You can also see how the side mirror have a gap from here. So a lot of things that have been done very aesthetically, and again, because it's an S-Class, you can see how long the wheelbase is. And where usually the fuel tank is, you have the charging ports in this car. And to unlock, what you have to do is your keys in your pocket, you can just swipe it and unlock the car. How cool is that? Also, press of a button to lock the car. It's all touch sensitive. Swipe it to unlock it, and you can also use a key or Mercedes Me app. It gives you both AC and DC charging, but you'll hardly need it because this car comes with the highest mileage possible on production EV, and it is ARAI certified, which is 857 kilometers on one single charge. And whenever you need to charge, you get 120 kilowatt of fast charging that gives you 200 kilometers of range in just 15 minutes of charging. Well, when you buy this car, you also get an AC charger for your office or home, so you can get it for free and get it installed by Mercedes-Benz India. And other than that, if you still have range anxiety, you'll always have Mercedes Me support, where you can get support from Mercedes-Benz India. Now that we've seen the front and side of the car, let's talk about the rear design of the EQS 580. So moving on to the rear, you can see the rear lights are also connected like the front lights. So you can see this is a connected LED, and also you can see a lot of LED crystals and a lot of texturization in the lights, which make it look really nice at night, and especially when you're parked, it is really very sharp LED lights. The reverse lights are embedded right here. The Mercedes logo also works as a boot button, so press of the button and it opens up the boot, and as you can see, it's like a mouth of a shark. It's huge, 600 liters of boot space, and you can see the number of backpacks and suitcases already in there. So you can see the EQS 580 badging over here, and 4MATIC, which is the 4MATIC suspension, air plus suspension you get in this car, which means you can lift the car when you see a lot of potholes on the road. Also, you see a lot of chrome elements on the rear bumper, and as it's an electric car, this is a green number plate and no silencers, of course. Also, another nice element is this port lip spoiler, which looks really sporty and adds to the element of the car. Definitely the AMG vibes on here. Well, if you need the AMG, you can also get the EQS AMG, which launched in India earlier this month, which is of course a little costlier than this one. Well, now let's sit inside and see what's the hype about the Hyperscreen. But before we move inside, let me show you how beautiful the doors are. These frameless doors really make it look really exclusive, sporty. And again, you know, when you shut the door, how the glass moves up automatically to seal the doors. It's really beautiful. And because of this, you also get serious amount of noise cancellation inside, and also the cabin silence is extremely good. Well, let's see what's the hype about the Hyperscreen in the Mercedes-Benz EQS. Well, I can see my profile is already there, so I'll just touch my fingerprint. A lot of things have moved around. You can see 3 different screens. Let me just start the car first. Well, you won't know if it's starting. That's the sound of silence that you receive when you start the car. So you can see 3 different screens on this one, and that's called the Hyperscreen by Mercedes-Benz India. And the reason they call it Hyperscreen is this screen is actually a supercomputer attached to a steering. Trust me on that. The amount of RAM it has, the amount of GPU it has, the amount of CPU power, processing power it has is unparalleled. I mean, you can't even imagine that kind of processing power this car has. It's like a supercomputer on wheels. And not just that, not just these screens, this is all covered by Corning Gorilla Glass, so it's like really solid screen. Well, the steering will definitely remind you of the S-Class, but there's a difference. The paddle shifter here work as recuperation mechanism, so it can be normal recuperation, or you know, hybrid, or easy, or switch off, or intelligent. It is different. Of course, the Hyperscreen spread across 3 different screens. The AC vents look like airplane engine, and they look fantastic over there. Even the lighting, the LED lighting in this car is really fantastic. We loved it on the S-Class and the Maybachs, but this is another level of lighting in this one. You also see a lot of difference because you don't have the transmission tunnel, you don't have anything. There's a lot of space to keep underneath. There's also cup holders, wireless charging, USB Type-C ports. Over here, the cup holders can be removed, which is really cool, so that you have that whole area to yourself. The buttons have moved from the dash to here. So you have your dynamic control, you have your EQ button, your start-stop button is here, and your volume control, and even your fingerprint sensor to load your profile. And this fingerprint sensor, or the Mercedes Me profile that you have, works across Mercedes cars. So if you put your fingerprint on even your S-Class, your seating, your AC, your lot of other factors, like around 100 factors of this car accordingly will change with your fingerprint. You also have more space here, where you can again get 2 more USB Type-C ports and a lot of space to keep stuff. So that was like a quick look of the front seats and the interior of the EQS 580, also the Hyperscreen. We'll get into more details in our final review. For now, let's sit at the back and see how comfortable is the S-Class of electric cars. So we seated in the back seat of the EQS 580. Well, I love the seats, but I definitely miss the thigh support, the foot support that you get in an S-Class. So you can't recline these seats further with your leg support, and there's nothing coming from the front seat that you can keep your foot on. But definitely you get all the massager functions. You get your pillow, you can recline the upper part of the seat and enjoy. And you also get this tablet for your control. You also get space and wireless charger here, which you can put your phone to charge on. And when you don't need it, you can lift it up and also get more space here. So a lot of space in here if you want 3 passengers to sit, because there is no central tunnel, so it's like completely flat surface here, which is great. You also get your own AC vents, your sensors to, you know, control with gestures. But that's about it for now. We'll definitely test the Burmester sound, which is 700 plus watts, 15 speakers, the Hyperscreen, and a lot more about this car in our full review. Now let's talk about how the EQS 580 drives. First things first, the EQS 580 is one of the few electric vehicles that you can drive without any range anxiety. The record-breaking 857 kilometers of range in one single charge
is more than most of the internal combustion cars that offer in one single full tank. With range anxiety out of the way, let's talk about the performance. With 855 Nm of torque courtesy of 107.8 kWh battery pack and 2 permanent synchronous electric motors, the EQS is a delight to drive. The aerodynamic suspension makes it float over bumps and potholes. You feel like you're on a magic carpet. Though the ground clearance could be an issue when you come across high-speed breakers or ramps. Mercedes offers 3 levels of regenerative braking in the EQS, accessible via the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. The most aggressive setting offers true one-pedal driving in the city, and it is really aggressive, while the middle settings finds a true perfect match between too much regeneration and not enough. I kept the middle setting on almost entirely during my drive with the EQS. The EQS comes with adaptive cruise control with lane centering assist, blind spot monitoring, active parking assist with a 360-degree overhead camera, and adaptive headlights with high beam assist, and all of it works flawlessly. Activating the active safety system via the rocker on the left hand side of the steering wheel, the EQS takes over throttle, braking and moderate steering inputs. The heads-up display projects an image of the car ahead of you and with distance marking, while also noting the lane markers on either side of the green stripe. You can also have a lot of other options in the heads-up display like the navigation, your music control and other stuff. Overall, the EQS 580 is truly an S-Class of electric cars, barring some of the luxuries that only S-Class offers in the market.
So thanks for watching the Unbiased vlog. See you in the next one.